Meantime, another 52-week high for Bitcoin today, hitting almost 45,000. As with previous rallies, it seems that everyone wants a piece. Bob Pisani joins us with a look at how people are trying to get in on the action. But first, let's begin with Kate Rooney for more on what's driving this rally. Kate?
Hey, Kelly. So it's been a lot of excitement around a Bitcoin ETF or a spot ETF. It would track the actual price of Bitcoin versus the futures price. There has been a lot of hype, a lot of speculation that the SEC is going to prove this. There's 9 or so applications out there from everyone from BlackRock to Fidelity. So the excitement here is around the biggest asset managers in the world getting involved. So it's seen as this stamp of legitimacy, a stamp of approval, and then it would also theoretically expand access to cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin in particular. And then there's another dynamic. So that kind of lit the fuse, Kelly, and that's what got some of the price movements above 30,000, for example. But then there's another dynamic here, which is leverage. So especially in these markets in Asia, I'm told you get what amounts to sort of a short squeeze. People had bet against Bitcoin in this case. Then you see these massive liquidations and these massive positions get wiped out. That is most likely what we're seeing in the last couple weeks or so. You saw the price climbing to 40,000 and then just this massive spike to almost 45,000. So that is more likely one of these big, what you would call whales in these markets, liquidating a position versus just retail interest. So you saw about $90 million, for example, of liquidations yesterday alone. That indicates that it's some of the bigger institutional players in these markets versus retail interest, which has still been pretty muted. It's risen, in the last month or so, but it's still far below what we saw in the height of 2021 and even last year, Kelly.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Kate. Now, Bob, how do you see it?
Well, look, number one, there's no doubt that interest in a Bitcoin ETF is what's driving these right now up. Here's the problem. We have seen this phenomenon before. So, for example, companies going in the S&P 500, their prices often go up in anticipation they're going in. Whenever you have the idea that there might be an expansive new market, people tend to try to front run the price and move it up a little bit. We saw this with ETFs. Cybersecurity ETFs were hot 4 or 5 years ago. They drove up the price of cybersecurity stocks and subsequently underperformed. So I'm wondering whether or not they're sort of now, this is the demand phase of this, and we'll see what happens once the Bitcoin ETF, and I agree with Kate, it's probably inevitable we'll get a Bitcoin ETF. What's happening here that's interesting is if you look at Grayscale, they have funds out there that are essentially closed-end funds that are trading at premiums and discounts to various crypto assets that's been trading at a discount to Bitcoin recently. But what's interesting here is that there's only a very limited amount of Bitcoin in these funds here, in the Bitcoin fund itself, 640,000. They don't change that number. And so people who are piling into that, the price has to change, but it trades at a discount or a premium to Bitcoin. And this is the problem with some of these funds that are out there right now and why you want to have a Bitcoin ETF, because if you have one, then you can adjust how much Bitcoin you actually have in the fund and have it track the price of Bitcoin accurately. And that's if there's any reason to finally figure out a way to get this Bitcoin ETF going, it's to eliminate these problems with discounts and premiums for some of these closed-end type funds that exist out there.
Real quickly, Kate, we also see shares of Robinhood popping. So this seems to be again, back to the future. It's 2021 all over again. Anytime Bitcoin's up, Robinhood's up too.
Yeah, it feels that way, Kelly. So one of the things that's helping Robinhood, they had a disclosure this week that showed 75% volume growth in terms of crypto volume, at least on their platform. One of the things analysts are pointing out is that something like a Bitcoin ETF would disproportionately benefit Robinhood. They've got that younger group of traders, they've got this crypto offering, and they've got equities alongside that. So if there's a Bitcoin ETF, you got to trade it on a platform, brokerage platform versus a Coinbase, for example. If you compare those two charts, Robinhood's been up about 9% today. Mizuho estimated that Coinbase, yes, they've seen some trading volume growth, but it's only around 60% versus 75% from Robinhood. Yeah. And Coinbase is listed on a partner here as sort of the custody provider, but anything that would threaten their trading volume, anything that would threaten that retail trading, that they get about 3% of a fee on that, is not seen as good news for Coinbase. So the share is pretty much flat there, but Robinhood getting a boost.
And remember, Robinhood gets paid on payment for order flow, so they would benefit because these ETFs would trade on exchange, obviously.
Great point.